Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are going to be taking a look at another TVZ here, but some new players. We got Light up here in the top right, the best as far as macro Terrans go. Probably the best overall SK Terran user in the world. I would put JYJ and Flash as the only players really up to his level. And he'll be going up against ZeLoT, who is basically our most aggressive pro gamer. So, you know, obviously he's got more range in that. He's not just going to rush you and cheese you out with mutas and stuff every single game, but he's very, very good at those things. So, feels like a good match to end up watching here. So, thank you guys for tuning in to ArtosisCasts. I really do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. You'd be surprised. A lot of you are not subscribed, and you think you are every time I do this, which is probably a couple times a month. People are like, oh my God, I wasn't subscribed. I get a ton of people that do it on that video, so please just take a check, take a little look. And if you want, you can hit the notification bell, because every single day at the same time I have a video come out. Like, yeah, when's the last time I think I missed like one video about a year ago. And before that, I had a 6 streak where I got COVID and then missed a few videos. I remember that. I was like, damn, the streak is broken, but it is pretty much every single day. So yeah, if this is a part of your day, you might want to hit that notification button. If not, no problem. Slight problem. But anyways, a couple SCVs coming down. I don't know why he sent 2 SCVs there. That was kind of weird. Huh. Must have just been a misclick. Anyways, whatever. We're on Polypoid. Thank you guys for watching. And let's analyze this game a little bit. Second hatch is going to go pool into gas here. Have interesting pool placement way out to the side. Cross spawn. I feel like cross spawn is a little bit better for Terran than Zerg in the matchup. Just because it takes the mutas a little bit longer to get there. Obviously, your move outs with Marine Medic are not ever going to really bust Sunkens or anything, but you're closer to the expansions, which are normally more attackable. So, you know, there's that. But, yeah, I don't know that it will even get into something like that. ZeLoT, his most common play is a Guardian Rush on 3 base. And his third hatch will generally be either in one of the bases right next to him, sometimes in a natural, never in the mains, and occasionally right next to his opponent in those third base locations. So, those games literally never go into a fourth base. They can't by definition. It's like a timing all in type of thing from Zerg. Like, I think I've seen... I'm trying to think of games that went beyond the actual Guardian Rush and whether it killed Terran or got broken. I had one game that did that, ever, and I'm a much lower level than the pros. So, I'm trying to think. I can't remember a pro game that actually went beyond that phase, because it's just like, you do critical damage or you don't. It's that simple. And then your tech sucks, your upgrades suck, and Terran just kills you if you didn't kill them. But, anyways, taking a look at this, it is 2 racks Academy Rush. So very, very fast on the Academy, very fast on the second barracks, and he really, really skimped here as far as Marines go. This was really, truly well optimized. And, because the second racks is super fast, and he actually skipped out on Marines a little bit. Look at this. He has them synced up. Wow, that is like a perfect build. That is a perfect build as long as they don't attack you with any Zerglings. This SCV coming back home as well. Now, this is a 2 barracks Academy Rush with no wall. So, the one thing that most Zergs do against this is when you move out as Terran, they will just counterattack with their lings, with some speedlings. But I don't see that actually happening here. Like, he didn't get speed. He's not going to get speed. This looks pretty good for Light. He's actually making 2 Marines. I thought he'd make Fire Bats from here, but he's got 2 medics to move out with his 6 Marines. If he finds this base, he's going to get really far ahead. So ZeLoT starts at third base. Oops, sorry. Starts at third base right nearby. So it's probably the Guardian Rush. and he will make some sunkens, but like he's literally relying on luck right now. It looks like that Overlord might have seen this coming across the map, but he is pretty darn heavily relying upon Light just not figuring out that this is here. Going to throw down an Evolution Chamber to slow him. Oh, look, Light's going to check. And that's going to be a forced cancel. This is really, really, really good for Light. This really screws up the build for ZeLoT. And in fact, he will cancel and run away. And Light will just turn around and go home. That was a cool build. Normally, it's an 8 Marine move out at 5 minutes with 2 medics. Instead, he did a 6 Marine move out. A little bit quicker and was able to do a little bit more with it. And just forcing that cancel is huge. A Marine has been split off to check the top left. Doesn't find any base there. Muta's flying across the map now. Missile turrets on the way. Does have +1 going. He does have range going. This is really good from Light. The fact that he has this much bio on the map right now and his range is going to be finished relatively soon before the Mutalisks get completely out of hand, which means he'll trade reasonably well. Some very good pressure right now. No doubt about it. ZeLoT looking for those hits. Does get a medic really low. Ooh, doesn't get the glaives onto it that time. Really, really good control so far on both sides. Actually swaps out the very hurt Muta for now. That was sent over to deal with this Marine. And just pushing this back right now is good enough for ZeLoT. I think we'll see the Queen's Nest started in just a few seconds here. He is getting the +1 attack on these Mutas, so he can keep that pressure on. Reducing the Marine medic count as much as he can. So the factory actually starts... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so Light's playing a little bit different than what I thought I would see here. He gets the 3 racks going, which is good and solid. But the factory is a little bit later than we've seen some other players like Speed getting it lately. So he's just kind of focusing on keeping good Marine medic amounts. And I like that he's added in an additional medic before he runs out of full energy. Just targeting down any mutas he can at the moment. ZeLoT will eventually kill these, so he does have to think about reinforcing continually. And in fact, he's going to need another medic pretty soon, because 2 of his medics are out of energy, and the 3rd one is going to be like overstressed with healing and going to run out of energy pretty quick now too. Yeah, really, ZeLoT's starting to get quite a bit of value there. Now, 4 missile turrets here looks really good. A 4th rack's coming up. He actually has his 2nd gas mining before he starts a starport. That's actually a little bit bizarre. Not entirely sure why. And by the way, no Queen's Nest, so I definitely read wrong as far as Guardian Rush. It could still technically be that, but generally the Guardian Rush would already have Hive on the way. So if he's going to do that, it's going to be a much slower Guardian build. This could, in fact, just be a Mutalisk all-in, where he's just going to try to micro him to death. Now, if Light identifies that that's the case, all you do is you just keep making turrets, you keep making Marines, you keep your Marines in your base covering your missile turrets, and, you know, eventually you'll get some splash damage to deal with those Mutas, and from there you should be able to pick it up. So right now, doing a pretty darn good job in here. The 4 barracks going to really keep him flush in Marines. 1 starport is up. No, dude, he has 800 gas right now. Like, I would say that this is... I don't know why he got this that quick. Like, his SCV count's really good, though, so I guess it's not like he's missing out on a ton of minerals by getting that gas. But that is quite the gas bank, indeed. Now, this is a perfect area that he found. He's actually delaying the science facility. The 2nd starport, not able to be made either. Hydralisk Den has been started here for ZeLoT, who continues to micro frantically in here. You can see another missile turret being started there by Light to try to help out a bit. Look at that. Science facility slowed once again. 2nd starport is coming up. Lot of mutas out here. He's got to keep that pressure on. He spent so much money on mutas at this point. Don't forget, Light right now has so many SCVs that the SCV picks are not actually hurting him. When you're on 50 SCVs, it doesn't matter if you lose a few here and there. On 2 base, you can absolutely still keep everything going and continue to tech up and get more upgrades. So anyways, he does continue with this micro. He's going to delay that science facility once again. Feels like this has been a big error from Light. Oh my god, he's killing so much. Feels like this has been a big error from Light, getting his science facility slowed so much. Like, look how late we are into the game and how much gas he's got. He's got 1,000 gas right now, going up to 6 barracks. He has the 2 starports ready to go as the science facility finishes. He actually starts a second one, realizing this one may not finish. That's actually so funny. Okay, will he actually... ZeLoT might just dive to cancel Irradiate, which is probably why he has this. At least he gets to start one. Oh my god, he kills the science facility. Just craziness right now. Looking back at ZeLoT's base, we have +1 carapace, Lurker upgrade. That's about it. You know, his drone count has increased slightly. He's sneaking some drones out here and there, but it's really mostly unit production. And the mutas just will not be denied. Light has so many Marines and medics. He has really solid upgrades of 1-1 on them right now. Finally finishes up that science facility, the second one, and he will get Irradiate like right away. You need to start it now because this one's going to have 75 before it finishes. Yeah, at this point, it's really about getting out as many vessels as he possibly can. But now this damage might get very, very heavy because the missile turrets have been reduced. There's like 1 missile turret left here, and he clears that as well. So now it's just Marines kind of standing there, and ZeLoT can choose to come in as he wants. Irradiate is on the way. More and more Marines coming out. The science vessels should be non-stop for the rest of the game now. Well, until he wants like a dropship or something like that. But Lurker's coming up as well. Now, this is kind of the style that we had about a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, where it's like super heavy Mutalisk harassment into run Lurkers up. If you get about 5 Lurkers here against someone who doesn't have tanks, you just win. But Light has recognized what's going on. He's trying to push out. He needs to make sure that he's not contained here. Like, you need to stand at least here so you have room to get out against Lurkers. So up come 3. Uh-oh. If I'm Light, I'm very nervous here. He has a little bit of room to get out still. And he does a huge stim and spread. 3, not going to be enough. He had enough surface area there. And suddenly the game breaks wide open for Light. The mutas have been completely dismantled. There's still a few left, but in general, they're very low in health. 3 Lurkers killed basically for free up here. Like I said, you need 5 about there. 3 here, just not good enough. A lot of Terrans would have been slightly lower in Marines, perhaps. You know, maybe slightly slower coming out, and ZeLoT will win a game like that. But right now against Light, one of the absolute best Terrans ever, just not the case. So right now, a lot of Lurkers are being morphed, many of them right here. More and more Irradiates onto those Mutalisks. Light going to remove as many Lurkers as he possibly can. Absolutely great engagement for him. He kills the rest of the mutas and is taking down a lot of Lurkers as well. He will have to pull back against this. Well, that's really... I've never seen that. You see where the circle is? I know there's other things going on in the game, but I've never seen that. It's always perfectly centered. This is not centered well. That's so weird. I really want to see the unburrow and what it looks like. He's going to unburrow in a second. There's no sense in keeping these here any longer, especially as he approaches that. Okay, he scans. He sees Lurkers. When he scans Lurkers, you don't move yet. Oh, come on. Unburrow them before there's more action. Keep him... Nope, it was a total normal unburrow. That was weird. That was... I thought they might be on top of each other, but they didn't really move. It looks like the graphics was on top of the... Wow, he's just surrounded everything. It looked to me like so basically the graphic was overlapping, which you can do on the burrow. But then when they both unburrow at the same time, they kind of displace each other. It didn't look like that's what happened. It looks like it appeared into where its green circle was. So that was a weird graphical glitch that I just haven't seen before, which is why I had to look at that and investigate. Anyways, looking back at Light Space, he's got 2-2 on the way. He made an add-on just in case. He's got 2 starports, 4 science vessels, but not making them right now. This is Hydra Lurker, no Defiler. Oh, God, we saw ZeLoT do this actually very recently against Bishop, if I recall correctly. So he's just kind of gone into Manzurg after his Mutalisk harassment. Very interesting type of strategy, and you can see the Marines and Medics just trading so well with these 2-1 upgrades. unbelievably good trading. The Hydras have some decent upgrades, but that went so light favored there. And in fact, light might just kill him here. Okay, so light kills him. Maybe a little bit of an anticlimactic ending. There was definitely a moment when he was trying to get the lurkers up here where things could have gone wrong for light, but he was so on top of everything that it didn't happen for ZeLoT. I think ZeLoT wins this particular game against almost every Terran in the world. But yeah, light just too much on top of it. The main thing I do want to just mention before I let you go here is the fact that this is not the first time we've seen ZeLoT go for a Manzurg. Manzurg just being Hydra Lurker. Not Hydra Lurker Defiler, but Layer Tech Hydra Lurker. That is not common at all. As I mentioned last time we saw this, like the only person I've ever seen actually really use that strat, well, back in the day, In Control named it Manzurg. He used it a lot to great success in tournaments. But it's just like mass Hydra Lurker. And it didn't work here, mostly because he had these 3 lurkers killed basically for free, and then he killed like 5 lurkers here. So when you put those together, light just kind of overwhelmed and made it look easy. But I'm really interested that ZeLoT is continuing to use this. The amount of styles Zerg has right now that are usable, let's name legitimate pro-level strategies that are usable right now by Zerg against Terran, okay? I'm talking against regular Terran play, like Marines, Medics, Science Vessels. Okay, so you have, which are all usable, is just the standard Muta into Lurker Defiler. And from there, you have Hydra Lurker Defiler, or you have into Ultras. You also have Crazy Zerg. And then we also have Mutalisk, just like pure Mutalisk all-in, which it looked like ZeLoT might have been doing. We have the Guardian all-in, which it looked like he might have been doing. And then now we have him playing around with Manzurg, which the fact that we're seeing it multiple times weeks apart, he's not doing it just for fun. Like, SSL qualifiers are coming. I'm very interested to see if this is actually something that the pros can make work. Because that would actually be really exciting, and that would change the game drastically, because if they start getting good at this, very likely you're going to see 2 factory siege tanks. I see only 1 here for light, but very, very likely you'll have to see 2 factories. And it might start looking like really old Terran vs. Zerg. Wow. Okay, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. See you next time.